Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Racing Unleashed, where we go beyond the pinnacle here in 2024. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin. As always, bringing you the action from the iRacing platform on your Sunday evenings. And what a race we have in store for you this evening. It is Watkins Glen, the full layout of this track. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic race. Really, one of my personal favourite circuits in the world is Watkins Glen. It always brings good action and good drama. And it is the penultimate round of the season, so no doubt we're going to see that from our drivers out there today with what should be some cracking racing. Some absolutely classics as well. It is going to be one of the best races, I think, of the season. We head to Sebring in 2 weeks' time on the 1st of December for that finale of the season. And here is a look at the calendar of the rounds we've done, where we came from to where we are now. And it really is going to provide us with some brilliant action these last two races of this championship. Let me tell you, what a championship it has been as well, folks out there. It is fantastic. Lewis Woods today puts himself really in what could be a really strong position with another couple of good results. He's been so consistent this season. With the two drop rounds he has to his name, his lowest drop round at the minute is a second place without the fastest lap. So that goes to show you how consistent Lewis Woods has been all season. He has taken 2 race wins amongst his name as well this season. He's just been a cut above the rest so far. But the championship isn't his just yet. He can't win it tonight, but will put himself in that box seat in what will be a fantastic evening. There is about 4 minutes left of the free practice times out there at the moment. Lewis Woods is currently second place out there by 0.04 of a second, so it is really close there with him. We can, though, take a look at what happened 2 weeks ago with the race results from that Pro Series. Lewis Woods won the first race of the evening from Nikolai Stetsenko, and then Jonathan Riley coming second and third. With the AM results from that first race, Francisco Lopez from Ian Overhavenen and Alexi Partonen, them three as well in AM, starting to run away with that top 3 spot, and it's the top 2 there of Verhavenen and Lopez that are really fighting it out for this championship. Race 2 results looked a little different in the Pro. Nicholas Laubish back to his best with a race win. Alex then took the second place, and Jonathan Riley came in P3, and what was a fantastic race for Jonathan, a double podium for him on his first outing here at the Racing Unleashed platform. And the amateur results again went the way of Francisco Lopez, with Ian Overhavenen taking that second place. There was, of course, the Laubish and Partonen incident in that race that led to Miguel Beltran getting P3 and being on the podium. And what that meant for the championship points, well, it was a lot of drama in them championship standings, and the top 5 in Pro sees Lewis Woods really cement his place at the top. And with rounds running out, Gabriel has them 2 drop rounds to his name, currently third out there on the timing screens in practice. Needs a good round today to really capitalise on Lewis Woods' good consistency this season. Lucas Prada's P3, with Laubish moving into P4 ahead of Alex in P5, but a really tight, congested championship throughout these grids. Obviously, these points do reflect as well the 2 drop rounds that the drivers have at their disposal, and it is their lowest scores of the season, which I believe for Lewis Woods has been a non-start and a second place. For Gabriel, a non-start, and then I believe off the podium. So it's not like he's dropping many points there, but needs them other rounds to be really good. The AM standings look like this, and it is Ian Overhavenen who still has a pretty good lead, 18 points. He's nothing shy of what excellent work he's done all season. But Francisco Lopez, this second half, has really started to reel him in and has got that momentum on his side with a double win 2 weeks ago. Alexi Partonen, you see there, just dropping off the back of the top 2, and really is going to make that a 2-horse fight going into the rest of this season. With the top 5 there, all scoring in both categories a bit of prize money, which I believe we can show you as well. There is the Pro prize money, €875, all the way down to 125 for 5th place. A real chance for the Pros to get their hands on some prize money. And the AMs, €500 for a race win, down to 100 for P5. So a good bit of prize money at the end of this season. And don't forget, the championship was free to enter, so it's not like that drivers have had to pay to enter this championship and won't win anything in return. There is a good chance of winning a good pot of prize money here. Drivers can still sign up for this or for the finale of this season. Go to apexracingleague.com and make sure you find the Racing Unleashed sign-ups, join the Discord and be a part of the action for that finale at Sebring in 2 weeks' time. The pre-qualifying for that will open a week tomorrow, where drivers will have to set their qualifying times, and the top 30 from each category will be on that qualifying list. I believe we do have a decent-sized grid out there tonight. There is the 10 pros and 22 of the AM drivers out there on the circuit for this evening's race. Hopefully they're all there and ready to take part in it. It is Lucas Prada who is currently the fastest in that practice session, which ends in a couple of seconds' time. The format for today's race then, and for the finale really, is the practice that we've just finished as we enter the 22-minute qualifying session. 10 minutes per class. You are allowed to finish the lap you are on. It's a 1 hour race. I believe the graphic there says 2:30 minutes. That is from 2 weeks ago. It is an hour's race here tonight, and for the finale it will both be done over the hour, with that pit stop about halfway through the race. We're expecting drivers to come into the pit lane for that fuel, which you can't take a full tank. I believe it's restricted to a certain percentage of the capacity of fuel you could put in the car. So drivers will be forced to pit and add fuel in that pit stop. Will people change tyres? That's going to be the big question now. And then we could take a look at this fantastic Watkins Glen layout. As you come down towards turn 1, you get towards what is known as the 90, and then you go through turn 1 up towards the S's. Real good set of corners through here at Watkins Glen. Through the S's you go towards the inner loop. An absolutely brilliant part of this circuit. Just cuts down that back straight a little bit and makes it tricky. Very easy, as we saw in an event earlier in the year on iRacing, to just lose the rear of the car through the inner loop. You come around the outer loop of turn 5 then. Again, very difficult to just get a bit of understeer on the car and maybe lose the rear a little bit. Down towards turn 6, which is known as the chute. And then at turn 7, you get the toe, which is the part of the boot, just before the back straight of the boot and into heel. But the toe, turn 7, climbs back uphill around here, and this is really where you can set yourself up through 7, follow the car, get a good exit. Down the boot you come before you get towards turn 9, and that turn 8, sorry, and that turn 8 of heel is again another real good overtaking opportunity. Turn 9, very tricky corner again as you're climbing uphill and starting to go to the left before you come through 10 and 11, all in which have no name. And it's very easy at turn 11 to run wide on the exit of the corner and just hit that outside wall as you come down then towards the start straight. Good key to get a run out of 11 as well. Maybe make a move into 1. Overtaking very, very good around here, and the racing is excellent as well. And let me tell you, it is fantastic to see this track and what it has to offer. The AMs are out there at the moment making their start to this qualifying session. They're currently done 2 minutes. I believe they have started their first flying lap of the session. There they are, BMWs, McLarens. Couple of Ford out there, couple of BMWs. It's great to see a vast variety of car out on circuit today as they enter this practice session, in which should be a fantastic opportunity to get ahead of a few drivers. Portman especially needs results to go his way really today to make sure he comes out on top and score some good points over the other drivers. Obviously, there's drop rounds now, though, starting to take play massively, and that is going to hurt possibly Portman throughout this session. There is Alexei Portman, who is just doing his best here to get himself set up, just picking up a bit of a toe down the boot in towards heel, off the car in front. Just a slight slipstream, not much from back there. And he comes back uphill now, round to turn 9. And into 10 and 11. Looks a decent lap that we've seen from Alexei here. Easy to run over the track there and get an off track as we come into 11. Excuse me. Apologies, as Parton then comes down the straight towards the line, and what lap times he going to set goes currently doesn't do one, so must have been an invalidated lap somewhere along the line. But Adrian Pereira has gone quickest at the moment. Hendrik Zelenki went second fastest for a time being. Alvaro now goes top of the timing screen. This is on board with Alexi, then coming up through the S's. Just see that car in front just starting to eke away a little bit, so he's not going to feel much of that slipstream now. A couple of new drivers out there as well. We've got Florent out there, Florent Michaud, the French driver in the Porsche. He's just gone P10 at the moment. Here's your championship leader, Eno Verhoeven. Also yet to set a lap time at the moment, coming through the outer loop. Whoa, running very off track there, and I don't know the limitations on iRacing around Watkins Glen. On other platforms, that would have been a bit of a track limit and an invalidation of your lap time. You can see the drivers really pushing and extending the track limits here at Watkins Glen. It's a beautiful day, great sunshine out there. It's about 18 degrees temperature. It's about 19 degrees track temperature as well. So it's not the warmest of days in Watkins Glen, but it looks an absolute belter in terms of the sun shining. A few clouds around again. Is that a little off track? I'm not 100% sure what the limitations are. We'll see if he does do a lap at the very end of this one. And let's see what will be Eno Verhoeven's lap here as he comes round. Alvaro still leading, still provisional pole at the moment. These guys have just got a bit enough time left for a couple of laps. As to the line goes Verhoeven, quickest by 1/10 of a second, so the limitations, you can extend them parts of the circuit there, so Verhoeven does well. Francisco Lopez now, this is coming down towards toe then. As you can see, you're just climbing uphill as you're turning right. Use that exit, little bit of runoff before the grass will hurt your exit out the corner. Down through the boot you come towards heel. And what are you going to do when you get down to the bottom end of this circuit? How good's your exit then? Doesn't use as much of the runoff there, does Francisco Lopez. Comes back uphill towards 9, the left-hand bend. Car will want to go light on you as you come over the crest of the hill, but he manages to keep it all nice. In fact, that looks like he's on a preparation lap. Just a bit of a wiggle there, maybe to warm the tyres up a little bit more and get them up to the right pressures or right temperatures. But Verhoeven leads in this qualifying session. Provisional pole at the moment is your championship leader. Francisco Lopez now will come to the line and will start a flying lap here. Yet to get one on the board. Borges Orzo's now in the pits, as is Zelke. Down the order, a bit of a slide there over the curb out of turn 1. In towards the S's now comes Lopez. You see him climb uphill to the right, flick it back to the left. Don't take too much curb on that left-hand side. You don't want to unsettle the car. Same here through the right. And now you're going to come back across the left-hand side of the circuit, foot flat to the floor as you've gone all the way through the S's, now into a trickier section of the circuit, as close to the inside barrier as you possibly dare. Keep it nice and tight, using all the curb on the outside and insides as you come through the inner loop. Outer loop now, running out wide, just drop a couple of wheels off the track and using all that curb and runoff to extend and be able to get the throttle down a little bit quicker. Hooks it tight through chute. Again, using that curb on the outside to just carry the momentum through the corner. Partonen goes up into 5th place. In towards toe now. And you're just seeing climbing uphill, hitting that apex right in the middle of the corner before then just letting the car come out wide. And down the left-hand side of the track you go. And you head in towards heel. And Lopez here, pretty tidy lap. That one little moment on the curb on the exit of 1. Using that runoff then out of heel, up towards turn 9 you come. Lovely through there, as close to that outside wall as you can possibly get, and he did just that. In towards 10, down as the corner sort of cambers down to the left, over the curb, back out to the left-hand side, into the right-hand and out over the pit entry line, back out, watch the wall on the outside, don't clip that, towards the finish line you come. And what's this lap been from Francisco Lopez? Was a decent lap on board. And it puts him P3, so 2/10 off the pole at the moment. And he's got Alvaro separating him and his championship rival, Jacob Fox, new driver for this week out there in the Ford Mustang, currently 21st on the timing screen, some 3.2 off of that provisional pole at the moment. But he'll go again, no doubt, running in the lovely Ford Mustang colours as well today. Here is then Alvaro to the line. Does he improve on his lap time as they're coming towards their final laps that they will start? And the pro drivers will be getting to get ready to go. Zilke is done. He will not get out for another lap. And I believe he's the only car that is in the pits. Just checking on my timing screens now that every AM has set a lap. 2 haven't. Louis Hesketh still in the pit lane. He's not came out. And Tanguy de Kock is on the track at the moment. Hasn't yet set a valid lap time. Has the driver from Thailand. Here's Jansani. He's done. He bails after going P5, 2/10 off the back. And there's Miguel Beltran. Huge spin out of turn 11 into the pit lane. He'll return to the pits. Drops down to 8th place as Dragotta moves up the order a little bit. Here is Nyman then, 10th place at the moment. Can he improve on his lap time and move up the order? No, he cannot, but he'll get one more run. That is the crucial thing. Florian here. Now towards the line in the Porsche, down in P20, 2.9 off the pole, and we'll go once more as the pro drivers are now starting to get ready to go for their laps. They'll go in 20 seconds. And for Roggenbuck here, Alex Roggenbuck, what is he about to? Very colourful Lamborghini, to say the least. This will be his last lap. I don't think he's going to get to the line to start another. Verhoevenen's done. Where's Partonen? He's only down in 7th, so down that order a little bit. As we say good evening to everybody in the chat. I know Tony's just commented this, so good evening to you, Tony. I hope you're doing well, as here comes Roggenbuck, and he's returned to pit lane. He bailed on his lap time at the end. He's drove into the pit lane. So who is on a lap? Francisco. This is Borges also close to the wall on the exit. Here comes Borges. Is he up on his time? Previous race winner at Spa. To the line he goes. No improvement. He did improve, but no improvement in his position. Stays P12. Leonardo Dragotta now in that McLaren. The young American in towards the final couple of corners. Decent lap time from him at the moment in P4. And it looks like he's bailing as well, so he is done. Where is Lopez? He's also done. Here is Rocco. Looks like he's got the VR headset on today. Rocco in the Porsche. Loving the colour scheme. To the line. P14 stays P14. What can the BMW M4 here do of Raphael Charbin? To the line he comes. That's only 17th place as well for him. So he is done in that qualifying session. And that then is the AMs all done at the line there. And the pros now take to the circuit, so it's going to be interesting to see what these pros do. And one thing I've noticed with the pros in qualifying this season is they don't give each other a lot of room. They want to get on with this qualifying. They know it's only short and know it is only sweet. And here they go. Down the start straight, now they come. This is the Ferrari of Lucas Prado. Was quickest in the practice session. What's he going to do is he comes down in towards turn 1 then. And he turns through the corner now. Up in towards the S's. He goes, does Prado. Right, left. Keeping it in 5th. You hear his foot flat to the floor. Changes in 6th gear now. Down the back straight he comes. Great opener to the lap there. Clear road in front of him. Beltran and Roggenbuck not yet in the pits. Oh, very close to the wall. You hear the car bouncing over the curbs. Just collecting a little bit of grass maybe on that final one. Round the outer loop. He comes nice and tight. Hugs the curb. Now to that outside over the curbing once again. As all drivers now look like they are in the pit lane. So don't worry about those that don't say pit on the graphic. I can confirm on the timing screens they are not circulating, so they are in the pits. And Prado, this has been a lovely lap from Lucas at the moment. Had a really good season so far as Lucas, just not had enough to get over the line with Lewis Woods and Gabriel. Don't believe he's actually had a win this season. No, he hasn't, so he'd love a win here at the penultimate round of the season. Lucas Prado flicks it through turn 10, just a little lift, goes over the curbing, just Yeah, did that unsettle the car just a little bit? He would have lost very small amount of time. Oh, very close, if not scraping the wall on the outside. Down towards the line, Lucas Prada for his first flying lap here. Goes top of the timing screens. Very, very good lap there. But Lewis Woods answers right back by pipping his time by just under a tenth and a half. Andonovski now coming round the final corner. Down towards the line, he will come. And what will he do as he sets a lap time, only goes P7 in class. Now here with Alex. Alex on a preparation lap then. Now here with Marcus Valverde. I don't know what audio you the audience have, but it sounds like I've got somebody in the cockpit view that I can hear, so I can't quite hear what Valverde's doing on the circuit. But he's down in P8 at the moment. And uphill he comes now, Marcus Valverde, P8 at the moment then. Down the boot he comes now. Got a good slipstream from the car in front, does the red Ferrari of Valverde. Obviously, he'll be back on the Racing Unleashed channel next week with the second round, or the second challenge of the season at Monza. It got announced the other day. So it's going to be interesting to see what the round race at Monza will be. As Valverde comes through the final corner, the orange Ferrari in front just pulls into the pit lane. That may have distracted him just a little bit. And that is it. Now Jonathan Riley coming through the final corner or two. Sorry, coming through the toe. Jonathan Riley now in towards heel. Uphill he's going to be coming in towards turn 9. Going to be key here to make sure he can get something done on this lap. Obviously 2 podiums last time out for Jonathan Riley. P3 rounds the final corner now, and here we go. Jonathan Riley then out the final corner, down towards the start line. What's he going to do on his lap time at the moment? Jonathan Riley to the line. P3 at the moment, stays P3 for the time being. And Jonathan Riley then doing well at this moment in time to make sure he can get what he needs to done. Here's Miguel Alonso, P7 so far. Pulls over to that inside line to let the traffic go, the faster traffic go through. He's going to be preparing for his lap, currently in 7th place. He's 9/10 off the pole. Everybody on an out lap. Their qualifying session's coming to the end of the day as well. "17 minutes on the clock, obviously 10 minutes per category. So Miguel Alonso now starts his flying lap. Will get at least 2 in the bag here, provided obviously he doesn't make any mistakes and pick up any damage, but he comes up through the S's now, does Alonso. Hugs it tight. Now starts to go over to the left. So interesting, different lines at the top of the S's. There's some going off to the left-hand side just before the corner ends. Very, very close to the barrier on the inside, using all of the curb. And you just hear there, just off that throttle, patiently letting the car get in before finding the accelerator and easing it down. And again through shoot, you just hear him off the throttle, letting it turn in and just then picking the throttle up. Let's listen in towards the toe. So Alonso there just allowing the car to do what it needs to do. Through heel, and again, it's just great throttle control at the minute for Miguel Alonso. He's dropped down to 9th place. Only needs a couple of hundredths to get up to P8. Secklin has done in 7th. Alex is on an outlap, as is Valverde, P5. Here comes Miguel Alonso then to the line. What's he going to do? Does he improve on his time? He does. Goes up to P6. So a great lap from Miguel Alonso. There we go. One more in. Lewis Woods currently a 10th and a half behind Lucas Prada for the pole as Gabriel improves, but half a 10th now behind Lewis Woods. Woods, no improvement there. He will also get one last lap in. Marcus Valverde, who's 5th, just over half a second off the pole. Needs a good 3 attempts to put him up into that top 4. I was on his outlap there, sorry, so he's only going to get one run in, is Valverde. Jonathan Riley, the man in 4th place at the moment. What can he do? Whoa, clouts the ward really hard. You see how there on his camera, shakes his head, knew he'd made a mistake and carried too much speed. Gabriel's done for his session. I imagine that's going to be Jonathan Riley done. I can't assume that the damage on that car will possibly make it any quicker. De Ruyter, will get one last lap in. He's 9th place at the moment in the McLaren. Here's Andonovski, currently 10th place overall. Looking to improve on that here in qualifying. Qualifying's ended then. Secklin, I don't think we'll get the chance to have a final lap. And Andonovski moves up to P6. So a great lap there from him. It's going to be interesting to see what these drivers are now going to be able to do as they come to the line. Here is Secklin, who is on the outlap. Just love to see the webcams of all these drivers and see the different setups that they have and what they have on offer. Here is Aldo then, comes towards the line. Lucas Prada, provisional pole. Yet to win a race this season. Shake of the head there as he comes out the final corner, clearly not happy with his lap time. He also clipped the wall coming out the final corner. Prada and crosses the line, no improvement for him. There's Lewis Woods, pits. So Lewis Woods is done. That could be the pole for Prada. De Ruyter here then, 10th place. Has he got enough in the tank? Needs 9/10 of a second to take pole. It's a big ask. It's a huge ask here for the McLaren. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do as he comes towards the line now. Out the final corner, here comes De Ruyter, down towards the line. He comes. What can Thomas do? To the line, Thomas goes. No improvement. No, he does improve. P8. Took a while to update there, but P8 for De Ruyter at the end. Here comes Alex now out the final corner. 9th overall. He's just been demoted tonight. Only a very small amount of time he needs to get back up into P8. What's he going to do there, though? Here's Andonovski, currently P6. And that is the end of the session there then. So what a qualifying that was, and it was Lucas Prada who's taken the pole position in the pro category, but Lewis Woods crucially on that front row of the grid and ahead of Gabriel in terms of this championship fight. Gabriel needs a heck of a result today with Lewis Woods, who's been so consistent, having a bad one, which would probably put him onto his drop round going into that finale this week, 2 weeks time. We'll be bringing you the grid order as Lucas Prada is P1 from Lewis Woods. Gabriel is P3 from Jonathan Riley. Ino Harvinen, P1 overall in P1 in AM in his class, but P5 overall. Great qualifying from him, from Marcus Valverde. Timotej Andonovski, P7. Miguel Alonso lines up in 8th. Alvaro 9th with Francisco Lopez 10th. Thomas De Ruyter is P11th with Alex in P12. Leonardo Dragotta, 13th from Adrian Pereda. Jan Sarni from Aldo Seclan, 16th place. Alexi Partonen down in 17th, not the qualifying he'd have hoped for, alongside Miguel Beltran. Hendrik Zilke from Etu Nyman. Petri Lepre is 21st with Borges Arzo 22nd. Dylan Neward is 23rd with Antonio Rocco 24th. Loris is in P25, Casper Tunstead 26th. Raphael is 27, ahead of Tangai in 28th, the driver from Thailand. Michael Machado is 29th from Alex Roggenbuck 30th. Florian Machado is 31st. Jacob Fox and then Louis Hesketh, who we didn't get to see in qualifying. Hopefully we get to see in the race, and I can tell you on my timing screens whether they've all taken to the line. They have, apart from Louis Hesketh, so we might not get to see him in this one today. The cars come to the final corner then for this penultimate race of the season. They come down towards the starting line. Lewis Woods will be looking for race win number 3 to add to what has been an impressive final couple of weeks of this championship. It's green and go here for round 9 and the penultimate round of this iRacing season. Great start though from that Prada, and Gabriel's managed to get up the inside of Lewis Woods as they come through turn 1. Everybody side by side, 3 or 4 wide in the background as well towards the back end of the field. And look at Lewis Woods and Gabriel going side by side up through the S as they come now. Great start from everybody. Looks like we're all away cleanly as well. So absolutely pitch perfect from everybody so far. And Gabriel and Lewis still attacking each other in towards the inner loop. They come for the first time. Jonathan Riley fancies a run on Woods here. Woods has to cover that one off. Impact in the background. Huge off. Round goes Gabriel in the inner loop. And through goes Lewis Woods. Gabriel somehow hangs on to that and manages to come through. Cameras in a new position, but the dining room chair remains for Gabriel this week. He tumbles down the standings, and what has Verhoeven done? He stayed in the lead. He's P4 overall. He's gained obviously that place over Gabriel at the start of this one. Partonen dropping down as he's gone very wide in towards Chute. Where is Lopez though in all of this? He is second place in category in the AM class, so crucial start here. Prada though did everything exactly right, got away well and did what he needed to do. He's put a gap between himself and that of Woods in second place. Riley looking for his third place in 2 weeks. There's now Secklin going up the inside of the white McLaren there of Dragotta. And the pro driver now towards the outside of turn 9. Dragotta looks like he's got that one done. Bit of a wiggle there though from the white McLaren. And there was a fair few cars off at the top of the S's. 1, 2, 3 I can see are in the pits. So that is possibly either their day done or they will hopefully come back out on circuit. We hope they come back out on circuit. Either way, Jonathan Riley, though, up 1 place into P3. He's got Verhoeven right up behind him. And look at this for a move. This is Gabriel trying to work his way back through the field and get past out of Francisco Lopez. This is what we love about the not multi-class, but multi-tiered racing, if you will. The pros and the AMs, watching the pros try and fight their way past the AMs here. Obviously, all in their own championship. Alex on the back of Gabriel's looking to get past. You see a flash of the lights on the onboard screen of the rear view of that Ferrari. And Gabriel bouncing it over the curbs through the inner loop towards the outer loop. Just can't get past that McLaren so far. Even more in the pits now. 3 more drivers in the pits. That's 6 drivers altogether that are in. And I believe Jan Sarni has potentially called that a day, as possibly as Florian Michaud and Charbin that have all potentially called that one a day, but we'll wait to see if they come back out on track. For then Gabriel here, he's got to try and get past Lopez. Here's Petri, had a couple of podiums this season, trying to get on the back of that of Partonen in front. Partonen trying to carve his way through the field here. And Alexei knows that he needs points in this championship. Now is that... Is that a bit of a team game there between the Trailbreakers racing? There's no teams in this format, but everybody are from multiple esports teams, and the Trailbreakers team, they're possibly in the same chat as each other. Allowing Alexei Partonen through there was Nyman and Lepre, maybe, just to be a little bit more, you know, on you go, buddy. I don't think Borges Arzo is going to be as forgiving on that one. He's going to want some points for that top 5 in the championship as well. Francisco Lopez, second place in the AM category, second place in the AM championship, 7th place out there on the circuit overall, and he is going to find this an interesting one in this race at the moment. He's on the back of, sorry, he's got Gabriel on the back of him. You want to race hard. Eno Verhoeven is a good 2 seconds up the road. He's got 2 cars between himself and Lopez. There is Verhoeven, championship leader in AMP. Lopez going defensive over Gabriel, then in towards the inner loop, and Gabriel swoops around the outside. Maybe that was Lopez saying, on you go, my friend. I do not want a piece of this. As Alex now in the pro category, trying to come behind Francisco Lopez as well. Alvaro in that yellow and orange Porsche is third place in AMP. He'll be the one next to challenge Francisco Lopez for position in category. Got a few replays we can bring to you now, and as you can see, this was the start. What a start it was from Prada as well. Did everything he needed to do in this one. And Gabriel and Lewis Woods, it was fantastic side-by-side action right up until the outer loop where Gabriel lost the rear. And look at this through the S's. Absolutely brilliant. You've got to have trust in each other. That is exactly what these two drivers had. Look in the background, though. Absolute carnage. And was there a slight tap from Woods and Gabriel there? I'd like to see that one again. We can overhead. Yes, you just see Gabriel bounce off the curb, sort of into that path of Lewis Woods. Just the smallest of contacts, front to rear. This is back from Verhoeven. Looking back, sorry, this is on Jonathan Riley, apologies. And did Gabriel just clip the wall on entry there? This is what happened further, though, down the order. That is Sarni getting a tap up the rear. And, well, absolute chaos. What do you expect on the opening lap at the S's? Casper Tunstead, though, this is his on board. What, bumper through the windscreen, tap round he goes, and then cue everybody else. Oh no, there we are, as they all pile into him. Marcus Valverde now is immediately under pressure from Gabriel, who pulls out on the through the S's, gets that a run, up through he goes, up the inside into the inner loop. Valverde doesn't defend that one too hard. Gabriel is on a mission here to try and work his way back onto that podium. Knows he's got to get near Woods. Does Gabriel here in this race. Andonovski may not be so forgiving in a few moments' time. And let's see what he's going to be able to do then in this race. Gabriel, after that contact, I think he brushed the wall a little bit as well, so he definitely bounced off the curb into the path of that of Lewis Woods. That's a no further action for me if race control are looking at that one. But obviously, race control are paid to do their job and paid to bring you the broadcasting. And it doesn't matter what I say, my opinions, they'll obviously read by the letter of the law. At the moment, Miguel Beltran, P6 in that AM class. He's on the back of Secklin in the pro category. Beltran on the podium last time out. The Suzuka. Seven minutes in already. So absolute fantastic drama here at Watkins Glen, and this is what it brings. We saw the big contact at the S's. Just to look down on the timing screen, 3 drivers. Well, no, apologies. Only 2. No, everybody's back out there. So everybody is out there on the track, it looks like. So that is great to see in this race at the moment then. Look at the run that Secklin's got on Dragotta. Breaks a little bit early though as they come into the S. There's a bit of a wiggle from Dragotta. Just gets him out of line. Great run though from Beltran. Has to not go for that move. As there, Secklin tries to avoid the back of that of Dragotta. And this is looking back from Beltran. You just see there on the inside line is Secklin still. And manages to come back up the inside of the Porsche. So good little fight here between a pro and an AM driver. Down the pack, obviously no extra points scored for overtaking these cars. These are all points are scored per class. Partonen's now right on the back of Beltran as well. So Partonen trying to make his way through the field. Beltran has a look once more, thinks better of it. Dragotta, he just looks a little twitchy in that McLaren in the race. So keep an eye on him. Just not fully comfortable. It looks like you just see the movements on the wheel there. Look, here's Partonen. Ruled as a racing incident. There we go. Cheers, Sam, or whoever's done that one in the background. Ruled as a racing incident. There we go. Working overtime now. So Woods and Gabriel, no further action involved in that one. Down towards the front of the pack, though. Dragotta is still fighting with that of Secklin, and Dragotta taps the rear of Secklin into the wall. They go. All at turn 1. Dragotta straight to the pit lane. And Secklin there, well, that is a badly damaged Ferrari. Now look at Eno Verhoeven, and under pressure now from that of Andonovski. Pro versus Nam again, in towards an inner loop. Not really an overtaking opportunity, and Verhoeven in here has 3 cars between himself and Lopez. He's 2.5 seconds up the road. This will just slow him down a little bit. With him being under pressure, might be worth just holding off on the fight with everybody else who is not in his category. Might just be worth keeping an eye on what Verhoeven will be doing later in this race, that is for sure. So Eno Verhoeven, and then leading in AMP, leading the championship. This is good for him going into the final week as well. Just to be able to pull some points over Lopez again. Seeing what Eno can do then. Andonovski P4 at the moment. Got Gabriel on the back, and Gabriel's on a good charge here, just looking at the best lap times. What's Gabriel lapping compared to Lewis Woods? Actually a bit slower than Lewis Woods. Set his personal best last time around with a 44-1. Did a 44.3 last time, so lost a 10th to Lewis, but this could just be because he's in the traffic of everybody else at the moment. We're going to see the crash and off turn 1. This is Dragota, so Secklin up the inside, comes off the curb, and yeah, just looked like a bit of a coming together. Just going to see another action replay of this. Does Secklin just squeeze Dragota out wide? Hard to tell. On board then from Beltran, just behind, sort of bounce off the curb. Bit of netcode there you see as well, so possibly just squeezing him slightly. And that is that one over and done. So that is that out of the race. Dragota is still in the pit lane. Secklin isn't circulating either, and we have no Casper Tunstead also. So we have had 2 retirements. Will Dragota come back into the race? That's going to be the question here then. Gabriel looking up the inside now of Andonovski. Just a look. Nothing more than that. Patiently waiting. We're only 11 minutes into this race. Let's not forget, still a long way to go. Whoa. Big bit of a moment there. Having a look up the inside now at turn 9. Andonovski just goes a little deep, and that opens a door for Gabriel. You don't need to invite him twice. Maybe you do, because he's not got through the first time. So Gabriel at the moment just now putting pressure on Andonovski. This is just allowing Verhoeven to stretch his legs again. He's opened that gap to Lopez up to 2.6. It is a drive-through for Petri Lepre then for a collision with Jan Sarni. Turn 3 on lap 1. So Petri getting that drive-through. We saw the incident on the replay earlier on. Spinning Sarni round, which caused a mayhem at the top of the hill in this race. Verhoeven now back with Andonovski on the rear of him. So Gabriel's just let him go a bit. Petri in for that drive-through penalty. Dragota also still in the pits, and here comes Verhoeven defending that inside line. Very close between the Pro and the Am. Still very close, they bang doors. And this is not what Verhoeven will be wanting at the moment. His heart will be in his mouth, and now Gabriel has a moment through the outer loop. Drops it a little wide, and Marcus Valverde is going to get the run on him. And gets past him. What about Francisco Lopez? Oh, this is the fear of racing pros and AMs. And that is going to put, so Verhoeven was 2.7 clear. Lopez only gained 0.2, and he's in the traffic at the moment. This is wild out there at the minute. Lopez and Verhoeven fighting for a championship and fighting for places on this circuit. So now Gabriel has to go again. Up the hill they come. What action we're seeing here at Watkins Glen. On board with Alex down in P7 in Pro. He's on the back of Francisco Lopez. There's a couple of cars queued up right in front as well. Prod has gapped Lewis Woods a little bit more, so just going back to lap times at the moment. 44.1 for both of them last time out. Jonathan Riley not really got the pace of him. And here comes Alex. You see there Marcus Valverde defending that inside line from Gabriel, just coming in towards the inner loop. Gabriel doesn't get past this time. Alex had a bit of a look on Francisco around the outside, but the inner loop, you're not really going to do it around there. Down they come now. Here is Alex on the brake. Lopez just starting to be gapped a little bit by Valverde and Gabriel. Oh, and who's that around? That is Pareda, Adrian Pareda from P6 in class, or may not have been P6, sorry, he was P6 when we went on board with him, but he's had a moment down the chute and has gone around. We'll hopefully be able to bring you a replay of that one when we get it. Alexi Partonen now is up to P4 in class. And here comes Gabriel around the outside then of that of Valverde through heel up towards turn 9. Lopez is going to try and go with him. Sends one up the inside, does Lopez. Door is open and he's got through as Francisco, or still side by side, should have it done through 10. And Valverde gets robbed of 2 places there. But what an opportunistic move from Lopez. Follow that of Gabriel through. Whether he sticks with him or not is a different story. 3.5 the gap between him, Verhoeven and Gabriel there just clipped the wall a little bit on exit. And this is fantastic to see at the moment. Here's Thomas de Ruyter going side by side with the Porsche of Alvaro. Pro versus an Am once again. If you want to know the difference between Pro and Am, Pro have the light blue strip above the windscreen. And Am have the darker blue. You see the top middle of the screen is who leads in each class as well. So for Thomas, it's been a great run at the moment. He can try and make his way up that standings a little bit more. Lopez to Verhoeven in 3 seconds. This, though, is your race leader. 16 minutes of actionless racing for him, I suppose. He did everything at the start, hasn't looked back, and it's been chaos behind. He's coming up to lap 1 of the Porsches, who is out there on the circuit, just looking at who is back out on the track. So Dragotta, he hasn't returned. Obviously, Secklin and Tunstad all retired from this race as well, but everybody else is still circulating in this race at the moment. 3 cars a lap down. Jonathan Riley in P3. After Lewis Woods is P2. We'll just close that gap just a small amount. We'll see what it will be. There's your leader in Am. That is Eno Verhoeven. Back to Francisco Lopez, second place in Am. He's on the podium at the minute. But he'll obviously want to beat Eno, will want to take points away from his championship rival. It's going to be absolutely key that he can do just that. Otherwise, it could be game over for him in this one. A couple more replays to bring you now. This is Verhoeven with Andonovski through the inner loop, just bashing doors. That could have gone any way. That could have gone any way. Verhoeven could have been in a wall, and we could have been looking at something completely different there. Thankfully, we was not. Just so tight. This is... yeah, there's Gabriel. Look, you just see the moment coming through the outer loop. This is what happened to Pareda. So he's on the back there. He's just lost it on his own, hasn't he, down the chute. Keeps it out the wall. Does well not to get collected there. Let's just have a look here. A little late on the brakes. You just see the rear. You just see it. Just comes around on him. And it does not grip and turn into the corner like he would have wanted it to do. He's running in a good position there as well. Was just behind de Ruyter. So it's P4 in the class behind Alvaro. That's now gone the way of Partonen. Valverde's now under pressure from Alonso, who's going to go right up the inside at turn 9. That's a good move. Valverde trying to hold it strong. Can't do it round there, though. And That's a lovely move from Alex up into P6 in class. Valverde left the door, invited Alex to have a look. And my did he. That is fantastic stuff from Alex here then. It's Alonso behind Valverde now. Gap out front 2.2 seconds. So Prada's put the foot down a little bit more and has just gapped Woods a little bit. 3/10 on the last lap to be precise. Woods to Riley's another 2.5 seconds. It's 2.5 seconds back to Verhoeven, who's still got Andonovski there. And now Gabriel's come on the back of Andonovski once again. Miguel Alonso is on the back of Valverde here, but Valverde still trying to get back past Alex. In towards the inner loop they come once more. And through the inner loop they go, out the other side, down into the outer loop. Just behind this is that of Miguel Alonso. He's looking to make moves. Here he is. So Prada, Woods, Riley, Verhoeven, Lopez, Alvaro. These are your top three in each category at the moment. Great bit of racing. 20 minutes in, still got 40 minutes to go as well. So anything can happen here. It's going the way of Woods at the moment, with Gabriel down in 5th place. It's just more points over Gabriel. And obviously places in that top 5 up for grabs as well. Petri, after his drive-through, by the way, came out P12 in class. It's great to see some of the new faces out there still circulating. Nice BMW, that of Dylan Newhard, he's in P9. Jacob Fox in the Ford Mustang down in 13th. This is Miguel Beltran, still staring at the back of Partonen, after Partonen got past a little earlier. Beltran, who was on the podium in race 2 at Suzuka. Going up the hill he goes now. Partonen would like to get that bit closer to Alvaro in front. Watch the gap there, that is just under a second. So we'd like to get that gap further down between Partonen and Alvaro. Whoa, perilously close to the wall there for Partonen. That could have been game over if he got any closer. So Alexei now then, just starting to push them limits. He gained 3/10 out of that. That's how committed he was through there. You just see that Ferrari, little twitch mid-corner. He is pushing. Partonen in front is pushing. Finnish driver. Done well this season. Got 2 race wins to his name. It's Verhoeven who's looking for that 5th race win. Here is Andonovski with Gabriel on the back of him. This has put him off the back of Verhoeven now. And Gabriel, it's take 2 here between these two. The last time Gabriel was behind him, he had a big understeer moment at the outer loop. Now what can Gabriel do? He's had pace today. What pace he's had. 4/10 slower than Prada's fastest lap, but that doesn't really tell you the story when Prada and Woods are kind of in cruise control at the moment. Down the start straight in towards the 90, which is turn 1. Andonovski here, just patiently waiting. Sorry, Gabriel patiently waiting. Andonovski not really placing the car in a position where you'd think, you know, that's really defending hard from Gabriel. He hasn't defended there. Gabriel gets to run up the S's towards the inside of the inner loop. This is going to be a move for position. Comes back across. He's got the job done before. So Gabriel moves up to 4th in class now. So it's more points for him in this championship fight. So well done to Gabriel. Now he can head after the arm of Verhoeven, and Alexei Partonen now is right up the rear wing of the Porsche in front. Could cement that P3 in the championship with a good result here. Just needs to get past Alvaro. He's been on the podium many a time today. Didn't qualify well, did Partonen. That's put him on the back foot going into this race. Beltran coming with him as well, and Great to see the Porsches having a good showing. So Parton in P4, just behind Alvaro in P3. And that of Beltran just behind in P5. This is in the AM class. Just all quietened down. Still so much action happening out there, but gonna follow the leader at the moment. Getting to that pit window area now. There's the track map for you. You see who's where on the circuit at the moment in terms of their position. We're just kind of having a calm before the pit window. Obviously, the car with the yellow ring around it is the car we are currently on board, 4th place in that AM category. Parton was having a look there on Alvaro in towards the inner loop, getting quicker now. And that seems to be the part of the circuit where Parton is a lot quicker than the Porsche. But Beltran now through this pot comes back at him while Alvaro just pulls further in front. So just ebbing and flowing slightly. Down through toe they come. Through heel, sorry, up towards turn 9. Parton here just sat in a tricky position, kind of one eye on his mirror, one eye on the car in front. And he knows what he's got to do. There is Alvaro sat in that P3. So through turn 1 they go. This is lap 16 of the race already, 26 minutes gone. We're coming up to this pit window now where the drivers are going to start to focus on their pit stops and their strategies and what they're going to be doing in them. And this will be really interesting to see what will happen with these drivers at this stage of the race. Here comes Parton, then gets a great run up the S's. He's been forced to the outside by Alvaro at the inner loop, and he's not going to do it through there, backs out of it and waits for another turn. And there is no sniff of getting a nose up the inside. So great racing from these boys here. All three of them having a fantastic bit of action out there. Here's Verhoeven, and then he's got Gabriel now on the back of his Lamborghini. He's got 2.2 to Lopez, so Lopez started to come with that of Gabriel and on the back of Andonovski. But like we said, the fuel just starting to come into play now with in terms of lighter cars, lighter tanks before they go in and fill up a little bit more. So here comes Gabriel down the start line. Not close enough at the minute, just under 0.4 of a second behind Verhoeven. But who is going to pull the trigger? That's going to be the biggest question, I think. Hats off out front to Prada. 3 seconds now is the gap. Huge gap out front. Now here comes Gabriel, gets the run, up through the S's, pulls to the inside. Verhoeven may as well just let him have this, because the run the Ferrari driver's got, pulls back in front just a little bit to open the corner up slightly, and Verhoeven not fighting that too hard. He doesn't need to. Gabriel's going to get through. Here comes Parton, though. Has he got alongside that of Alvaro up the inside, in towards the inner loop? The Porsche holding it strong. Parton still on the outside. Beltran fancies a piece of the action, and Parton gets through. Beltran now might follow him, and no, he doesn't. But a great move there from Alexi Parton. Up into P4 now. Beltran gets up the inside on the exit of the corner, will be on the outside coming into the chute. Brakes a little later, runs runs a little deeper, but crucially gets past that of Alvaro. So in the space of 3 corners, Alvaro's gone from 3rd to 5th. What a bit of racing there from these 3. Absolutely outstanding so far from Partonen. And that was really, really good. And this is why this man's 3rd place in the championship. He's just not been on the form of Francisco and Eno up front, but he has been fantastic all season long. Kind of a best of the rest. So Partonen P3 in the AM class. Points could pretty much cement that as well. Here's Pareda on the back of Borges Zarzo for 7th and 6th, just behind the battle that's just been raging on. It's going to be an interesting one to see. This is 6th and 7th here. Right, P11 in the AM class. That is Loris is in the pits. So pit window sort of opening now. Drivers coming in. Here comes Parade around the outside of Zarzo at the first part of the loop. A lot of curb for the second part. And Borgia may come out. That's still in front. Parade just on the grass a little bit. Has to back out of it. And Borgia will hang on there for another day. So drivers into the pits. They've started their pit window. Loris is still sat there at the moment. Who was that just behind him? That is Tanguy, sorry, who is leaving the pit lane. And now here comes Loris. He's leaving as well. So both drivers coming out the pits. That's 2 drivers in. Pit stop's done. The replays show you here of what happened earlier. This is the move from Beltran. Then look at this, Partonen nearly hitting the wall, side by side. Don't even touch doors there. It was beautifully done from Partonen. And then just watch out of Alvaro there. Look, just has a moment where he just drifts a little wide. That opens the door for the Porsche to stick his nose up the inside. That of Beltran to stick his nose up the inside. Had to keep it around the outside, and Alvaro just couldn't keep with him. Pit stops happening. Partonen and Alvaro are into the pits, as is Pareda. Nyman, Newhard is in as well. So a lot of drivers starting to come in this time around. Leaders not yet at the moment. As Newhard stops in his box. Just take on a bit of fuel. Not probably any tyres, I want to imagine. Partonen is down. His pit stop stationary time was 22.5 seconds. As was Alvaro. Paredes 21. So around about 22.5 seconds mark. Here is a battle between Rocco down the order. Now looking to the inside in towards turn 10. Lag there, just saw the car just disappear for a brief moment. As Rocco came into the pit there, and then he got a rear end from Loris. Rocco, it says he's done 22.4, so did he pit earlier on as well? Must have done, but in he comes again now. For leader into the pits, Lucas Prada in, Jonathan Riley and Gabriel is in. As is Verhoeven and Lopez, Andonovski, Valverde. Everybody's coming to the pits. Bar, Woods and Alex and Thomas de Ruyter then. They've carried on. So it's going to be interesting to see. But Prada in. Keep an eye on that time because the gap was 3 seconds-ish when Prada pitted. Keep an eye on that pit time. What he is stationary for, because whatever Woods can gain in the pits, that is going to be crucial here. 20.43 seconds for Prada. Out the pits he comes now. I imagine we're going to see Woods in this lap. Gabriel has jumped Riley there then in the pits. So Gabriel, great stop from him. Jonathan Riley was in there for 24.2 seconds. Gabriel in there for 20.5. Well, let's hope Gabriel's fueled enough to the end, but Riley then drops down a place. Verhoeven and Lopez. Verhoeven gained another second over Lopez. As there is Partonen. He's lost out to Beltran. And now through the S's, they're going to come. So Beltran's jumped Partonen in the pits. But look at Partonen's run up through the S's. Chooses to go to the outside now on the final bit of the S's. He's not going to have the inside line for the first part. Can he get fully alongside? Is he going to get past the Porsche in a straight line? No, he's not. Is he going to hang it around the outside through the S's? They come now. Maybe a small bit of contact there. Not enough to unsettle the car. And Beltran stays in front of Partonen. And well, the extra lap for Beltran there worked an absolute wonder. Lewis Woods into the pit lane, but Beltran jumps Partonen in the pits. Great strategy there, getting very close to the back of the Porsche. Top three in now as well. 35 minutes gone in this race. We're into that final 25 minutes. What is going to happen from here? Woods in. We'll keep an eye on that pit stop time. Remember, Prada, 20.4 seconds. It was about 3 seconds gap before the pit, before Prada pitted. Has Woods done his calculations correct? He's still stationary. 18.9 to gains 1 and a bit seconds. Prada's gone through. There he is. But Woods, crucially, has pulled that gap down just a smidgen here in this race. And out the pits he comes. That gap no longer 3 seconds. It's just under a second as the back marker stays well out the way. And Woods now right back in this race for a race win. This is going to be interesting. So what can Lewis Woods do here? Gabriel's worked himself onto the podium fantastically. Lopez has got ahead of Andonovski. He's 2.5 behind Verhoeven. How he'd love a race win over Verhoeven today. There is Gabriel. Well worked to get back in this position. As Jonathan Riley, who's lost out, dropped down to 4th place, putting a lap on the Porsche. Marcus Valverde down in 8th at the moment, on the back of Thomas de Ruyter, who's jumped him and Miguel Alonso actually as well in the pits. So interesting there from Valverde. Here's Miguel Alonso turning in towards heel once again. So Gabriel's 10 seconds off the back of Woods. Woods is second off the back of Prada. Woods has got to have a better second stint here in this race. Jonathan Riley's got Alex behind him and Eno Verhoeven. This is the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th in the Pro class between de Ruyter, Valverde and Alonso. How Marcus Valverde would love a good result here in this one. Riley's got past Alex then, that's for 4th and 5th. So now Verhoeven's probably going to have a try. 2.2 the gap between Verhoeven and Lopez, so he's got to keep an eye on that as well. Doesn't want any mistakes with a pro driver to cost him a race win. Valverde having a look to the outside of Andonovski. Alonso just watching on. Valverde didn't make the move there, didn't get anything done. Still just doing a good enough job at the moment. So here is Miguel Alonso then, in towards toe for the 22nd time. Coming up to the 40-minute mark of this race. And has had a pretty eventful race. It's been a really good one here at Watkins Glen today. Miguel Alonso, just there, just patient, getting on the throttle. Valverde a bit unsettled over the curb. Loses out a little bit to De Ruyter just in front of him. Alonso gets closer to the rear. Had a look to the outside of turn 9. Now has a look at turn 10, pulls back in. We get the move done through there. Maybe setting him up into 1 possibly, but Valverde better through 10. As we were then. So Alonso couldn't capitalise on that mistake on the exit of 8. Woods just losing out a little bit. Woods has done a personal best lap. So is Gabriel back in the 43.8 for the top 3. But all matching each other. That's Woods' problem at the moment. Here is Lucas Prada putting a lap on the Ford Mustang. Has 2 back markers between himself and Lewis Woods now. As Woods up the inside of the Porsche and up the inside of the Mustang. No problem for Lewis Woods. He's got to go again and try and catch back up to Prada, because he's just lost a little bit more time this lap. He'll know that. I don't think he's going to be too worried though. It looks like it could be another 2nd place. And it looks like it could be a pretty good day. Back down to P5 in Pro. Here's Alex on the back of Jonathan Riley, who got jumped by Gabriel in the pits. Eno Verhoevenen's with them. He's just pulling away from Lopez a little bit here, is Verhoevenen as well. Verhoevenen was got a car between himself and Lopez. That's a back marker. Lopez yet to get onto the back of him to put a lap on him. Despite scoring 4 podiums this season, that would have been Prada's first win of the season out of 4 podiums. This could be fit podium number 5, but his first race win. What a great display of racing from Prada here at Watkins Glen. He's been the better driver all day. Quickest in practice, quickest in qualifying. He had the gap in the first stint. Looks like he's gapping Woods a little bit in this stint, as Gabriel's just on the fastest lap of the race. So, you know, Prada has been the man to beat today. He's been the man to beat. He's had a fine showing out there. Down to Jonathan Riley, though, who's coming under pressure from Alex in towards the inner loop, and nothing changes through that one. Zarzo's just moved into P7. He's got past Nyman in the AM class. That's more points for him for that top 5 finish this season. Now Rocco's got ahead of Fox for 13th and 14th as well. So got 1.3 out front. It's going to see if it can just come down a bit. Woods is obviously going to want to try and mount an attack at the end of this race on Prada to make sure he can close the gap. Great fighting all day here at Watkins Glen. Really has been an interesting day of action and an interesting day of battles around Watkins Glen. Been great to watch. Bit of a slide there on the rear of Jonathan Riley's car. The bonus for Verhoevenen is he's sticking with these two. They're not fighting massively where he's losing time over Lopez. If we look at the lap times last time around, 45.5 for Verhoevenen. And a 44.5 for Verhoevenen and a 44.3 for Lopez. So yeah, he's gained a 10th and a half as Lopez on the last lap, but that gap sort of staying around the 2.4 mark. Lopez isn't making any inroads on Verhoevenen, and he's not losing any time from the fight out front between Riley and Alex. Into that last 16 minutes of racing now. And what a race it has been. In fact, has gapped Lopez just a little bit this lap. He's got to keep his composure. He's just got to follow these two. Whenever they're not holding him up, stick with them. Let them tow you along, really. How much will Lopez be thinking back to Road Atlanta, where he ran out of fuel, dropped down the order, points lost in that race? How much will that be playing on his mind? Both these drivers in AM have had 4 race wins to their name. Personal best there from Lewis Woods, just pulled a couple of tenths back on Prada. So interesting at the moment. Interesting fights happening all around this track so far. Down towards turn 1 they come once again, the 26th time. Verhoeven last time out matched that 100th quicker than Francisco Lopez, so really is ebbing and flowing. Verhoeven will have a 28-point championship lead if the results stay as they are, with 1 race remaining. So that shows you how good a season Verhoeven's had. And I'll put him in the prime position going into the 1st of December. What a lovely early Christmas present that'll be. Right, so through the chute they've gone to lap 26, just under 15 minutes remaining. So Lewis Woods is 1.3 behind Prada. Gabriel a further 11 seconds behind, so that one's not really going to happen. This is the battle for 4th and 5th, the 2 cars in front of Jonathan Riley and Alex, and then Eno Verhoeven and your race leader in AM. They're separated by this much. We drop back 2.5 seconds into Francisco Lopez, who is P2 in AM. Miguel Beltran is on the back of Miguel Alonso with Alexi Partonen for P9 of Miguel Alonso in Pro, and then P3 and 4 in the AM category. That's that fight there. So all happening at the moment. All interesting to read so far. In terms of these championship standings and championship queries that will be asked and answered by the final race at Sebring in a fortnight's time. So here it goes then. Beltran, and actually gets past Miguel Alonso now into turn 1. So Beltran moves another place overall, but crucially puts a car between himself and Partonen on the road for P3 in the AM category. Beltran's coming under pressure now, though, from Alonso, who's coming back at him. Beltran up 5 places in this race already. Alonso, though, going to go back up the inside of Beltran. And easy done. Beltran not fighting that one too hard, knowing that that's not going to score him any more points, but the position that he might lose behind will. So huge moment here in this race. Riley as well, just staying in front of Alex, just starting to, I say starting to gap, it's kind of been the same around that 3 or 4 tenth mark for a while now. Verhoeven has dropped off the back of these two, though. Has he made a mistake somewhere? That gap's down to 1.5 seconds. So he's lost a second somewhere. Just looking back at the lap times, 44.3's pair of them the last time around for Verhoeven and Lopez. So he's got to have made a mistake this lap as Eno Verhoeven. There's Lopez just getting caught in a bit of traffic at the wrong time. It's going to hurt him. Seeing the last lap times across the board, yeah, 45.1 for Verhoeven and 44.6 for Lopez. Possibly lost a bit at the end due to that bit of traffic that's cost him, still costing him really. That Porsche will not move, and he has to kind of overtake it up through the S's. And the gap that came down to 1.5 seconds is now back up to 2.2 nearly. Well, he's put the lap on the Porsche driver now, but at what cost in this race? 11.5 minutes left to go. Gap back over 2.2 seconds. Here's Miguel Beltran with Partonen getting close to the back of him through the S's. Pulls to the inside now. Has he got enough of the car alongside into the inner loop? No, he doesn't. And carries that speed through, and they were but when they entered. But Partonen now getting close. Just kind of had that mid-race lull. where the pit stops take shape. And now it's all coming together at the end once again. Lewis Woods will win the championship tonight if he beats Gabriel. So there we go, confirmation from the men in the background that Lewis Woods will win the championship tonight if he finishes in front of Gabriel. That gap is 11 seconds. So this could be game over for Gabriel. And it could be done a week early for Lewis Woods. The AM Championship will go on another week though. Obviously, if you want to keep up with all the statistics, all the end results and championship standings, make sure you follow us on social media. Racing Unleashed on Twitter, or X as it's called now, Instagram. Keep up to date with all the statistics across there. In what has been a fantastic day of racing. Here comes Alex, having a look now on the back of Jonathan Riley. This is for P4 and 5 in class, and Riley manages to defend that one. Alex at the moment doing great stuff. Barton has dropped off the back of Beltran. So I'm not sure what's happened there, but he hasn't had the best. He's had such an up and down day as Barton in here. Didn't qualify well and hasn't really done too well since either. Beltran trying to get past Alonso here. I think that, you know, if we are back for a second season next season, there could be a few category changes for drivers. Obviously, it's all down to the I rating. Some of these AM drivers have been absolutely fantastic in their fights this season. Beltran then just now putting pressure. He's not losing pace as well. Alonso's taking him along for the ride. Eno's still got Lopez 2 seconds behind him. One thing I will say about Beltran here is he does not want an incident or mistake that will allow Portman through at the very end. We're into the final 8 minutes, or coming up to the final 8 minutes. This is going to be huge at the end of this race. Beltran can't get the run on that of Alonso into the loop. This is your race leader, though. There's Lucas Prada, yet to win a race this season. He's got Lewis Woods right behind him, just over a second. It's been great drive from Prada. You can't take anything away. He was the fastest in practice. Was the fastest in qualifying. He's been the best out there today. Good strategy from Woods, though, to pull that gap closer in the pit stops, but hasn't had an answer to this, man. You see there over the last couple of laps, Woods been a bit quicker than Prada, but you know, Prada's already in that mode maybe to just bring the car home. There is Lewis Woods. Could be champion today if he beats Gabriel. It's going to be very interesting to see if he does or not. Going about it in the right way, though, is Lewis Woods. Having a real good time of it. This back half, well, I say this back half, lowest result of second place. Well, the one he wasn't able to attend, but this last couple of races, he's taken the race wins, and that has done him the world of good. And here is Porter in third place in the AM Championship, but can't get close to Beltran here. Had an opportunity, didn't take it. Beltran jumped him in the pits, and since then, Partonen's not had an answer for Beltran here. Bit of traffic coming up now, though, so this could play into his hands just a little bit. 6 minutes left on the clock. So we're into the final 2 or 3 laps here then at Watkins Glen. They're all past the first back marker nice and easy. Alonso there just starting to go defensive a little bit. Beltran just starting to follow him. I don't think Beltran needs to do anything silly here. His race is, yes, it's for position. You all, as a racing driver, everybody's going to want what position you can get. But there's no points on offer for him passing Alonso. So he doesn't want to possibly go too hard and end up in an incident where it puts him behind Partonen. Alexei just sat watching and waiting for something to happen here. It's just not happening for him. He's got to create it, I think, in these final 5 minutes. And at the moment, he's not close enough to create anything. Getting a good run up there, yes, as though. Having that bigger hole punched in the air by both these two cars. It's a closer look by the time he hits the brakes into the inner loop, but just, you know, really carries the momentum through here. Is there a gap going to open up at the outer loop? No, there's not. Beltran's been better than him coming down the chute, heel and toe section. Just gets close under braking, but can't do anything else with it. Just a little wiggle there on the rear of Beltran's car. Parton possibly just going to be noticing that. Final 4 minutes. Leaders coming to the line now, so at 1 minute 43 a lap. I reckon there's about 2 laps left. He crosses the line to start lap 33. I reckon there's potentially 1 more left after this lap. Beltran currently holds the fastest lap in the AM category. This would be his first fastest lap of the season. There we go. Miguel Beltran. Fastest lap of a 1:44.007. Outstanding today. Good podium for him in race 2 at Suzuka a fortnight ago as well. I'm sure Miguel Alonso would have loved to have put some more pressure on Valverde. He's currently watching his rear view mirror. Timotej Jandanovsky has got Thomas Reuter within a second, so that's pretty close as well, but we're in the dying stages of this race. And if you ask me, Partonen has got to do it now, but he, again, look, he just is not close enough coming into the inner loop. And he looks even further back than last time. Partonen's going to have 1 lap left after this. Where's the leaders? Just coming round to the line. There might be 2 to go. 1:43, so we're going to need about 58 minutes, 17 seconds. I think there's 2 to go. This isn't the white flag lap. There is 2 to go here. Next time around will be the penultimate. Sorry, this is the penultimate. Next time around will be the last lap. There's Gabriel, steady, quiet P3 since passing, jumping people in the pits. Is that, who's that? That's a back marker getting out the way of a Harvinen there. There's Riley, with Alex still on the rear of him. Not a bad day for Jonathan, just jumped in the pits really, just, you know, Gabriel had the better pit stop. No real express pace from him. you know, just gone about his business. Best lap of a 43.9, couple of tenths slower than the 3 in front. Here's Andonovski then, who's got Thomas de Ruyter just behind him there in the McLaren. Can Thomas get past here? What I believe is his first outing for Thomas. Down through, shooting towards the toe now, just keeping an eye on that timing screen. Prada is coming towards the end of the lap. Beltran still on the back of Alonso. Alonso's got Valverde in sight and Horton not close enough. Yeah, we're going to get one more lap in, so we're going to take the white flag. Prada's coming towards the line on the timing screen, so we are taking the white flag. Now, Prada starts lap 35. And the white flag here. So this is the final lap of the race then, here at Watkins Glen. And for Partonen to get on the podium, he needs to do it sooner rather than later. Got as close as he's been since the pit stops, but needs to make the move, needs to get them run through the final couple of corners and turn 1, because his best chance is probably up the S's, where he's got great momentum through the S's and into the inner loop. He's some 4 tenths off the back of that of Beltran. Could it all change for the podium here in Am? You see the white flag waving. In this penultimate round of the season, Miguel Alonso's gone very, very wide there on the exit of 1. This is now going to be Partonen's best opportunity. Needs a great run up here. Needs to get as close to that of Beltran as he possibly can. I think he's too far back. This has got to be an almighty run and some late braking in towards the inner loop. He's got to find a way as Partonen to take that podium away from Beltran, but he's not close enough. He's not got the run he needed. And that, for me, was his best opportunity, because that's where he's been strong all day. He gets as close as he's been once again. Look at the outer loop, but it's not going to matter for him, because I think Beltran has the better hand in the second half of this lap. But the race leader, Lucas Prada, he's yet to win a race this season in the pro category. 4 podiums. Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, #1 in the race. Lucas Prada takes the checkered flag and wins here at Watkins Glen. Lewis Woods takes that championship, though, from Gabriel, because he's finished in front based on what we read earlier. Beltran side by side with Partonen at the very end. He's come and got him round the outside of turn 9. Has Beltran here just got enough in the tank. He's got to go around the outside of 10. Gabriel's finished 3rd, Riley 4th, Alex 5th, Verhoeven wins in Am, Lopez 2nd, and Partonen right to the death will have the inside line through turn 11. Beltran still sticking with him. They're side by side to the line. Who's going to take this one? It's Beltran who comes back at Partonen there and finishes on the podium. What an outstanding last lap that was from Alexei Partonen and Miguel Beltran there. That was outstanding. Didn't think Partonen could do it. He came and done it, though. Eno Verhoeven, race winner the winner in Am. Just being told that Alonso possibly ran out of fuel at the end. He did lose 2 spots. That's not going to matter, because it was the 2 spots to the Am drivers, so it won't matter in terms of the points. But Prada takes his first race win. Lewis Woods, I believe, is champion. From what we saw on screen, he beat Gabriel in the race. And Eno Verhoeven has a 28-point lead by our calculations over Francisco Lopez going into that one race next week. But what an absolute outstanding win for these drivers around here. 5 wins this season now for Eno Verhoeven, and a first win for Lucas Prada in terms of 5 podiums. Absolutely outstanding scenes here. What an epic end to the race as well between Beltran and Parton. We're going to bring you some interviews in a few moments' time with our top 3 from each category. That was outstanding. That was really, really good racing from everybody there. And one more to go. Sebring, the final race, and the drama's not going to end there. The hour race at Sebring is going to be an absolute belter as well. You will not want to miss that. If you want to be a part of that one, make sure, if you want to race it, head over to apexracingleague.com, get yourself registered and signed up. You have the week as from a week tomorrow. You have the week to do then your pre-qualifying time, which will then lead you into the race. Top 30 pros and top 30 AMs will qualify for that race at Sebring. 1 hour long with the mandatory pit stop. And that was fantastic. And I'm just looking here, still nothing at the moment, but we are waiting for the drivers to come in for interviews. So what an absolute race that was. That was brilliant. There then is your final classifications. Prada from Woods from Gabriel, Jonathan Riley and Alex rounding out the top five in Pro from Ian Overhaven, and Lopez 1 and 2 in AM. Thomas de Ruyter did get Andonovski at the end as well for P8 and 9. Marcus Valverde P10. Third place Miguel Beltran in AM category ahead of Alexi Porter. Miguel Alonso looked like he ran out of fuel at the end from Alvaro. Adrian Preda, Borges Arzo. Nyman was P17, Newhard P18, Zelke P19, then it was Petri, Loris, Antonio, Rocco, Jan Sarni, Jacob Fox, Alex Roggenbuck was P25, Tanguy de Kock was P26, Raphael Scharburn P27, Florent in P28, Machado was 29th, Dragotta 30th, who retired, Sekland 31st retirement, and Casper Dunst 32nd retirement. We didn't get to see Louis Hesketh out there, but what an absolute fantastic day of racing. That was absolutely amazing at the moment. We can speak with your race winner in that pro category now. Lucas, race win, you finally managed to get one across the line at the end. That was a pretty controlled race from yourself.
Yeah, like I said, we're pretty controlled. Had really no issues holding the pace. I was just trying to keep the tires in check, and yeah, Luis and Gabe, they had a little fight on lap 1, so I had a bit of a gap. And I was just controlling the gap and making sure I wasn't doing any more mistakes. And yeah, it was easy sailing.
It looked like that Lewis had gained some time over you in the pit stops, but you managed to control it after as well. He was closer, but never got within that second, did he? You was matching each other pretty much lap after lap.
Yeah, like I said, he gained quite a bit in pit stops. Not sure how. Probably did a lot of saving in the first stint, so he could feel a bit less fuel. And then yeah, I saw him get out of the pits like second behind me, so I just pushed for a bit to get out of the slipstream, and yeah, then again tried to manage the gap and not let him get closer.
It must feel really good to get that first race win of the season. 4 podiums without a win, and you get one today. It's good for the championship as well to finish in that top 5.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's a bit too late to really challenge Lewis for the championship, but yeah, definitely happy with the win. And hopefully we can repeat that in the last round.
Lucas, congratulations. We hope to see you at Sebring in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you. See you.
Lucas Prada there, your race winner. We can speak now with Lewis, who was at P2 on the road today. Lewis, just didn't have it for the race win, did you? Lucas just had a little bit too much.
Yeah, I'd say. First stint was quite tricky for me. I felt like after I had the collision with Gabriel, I just didn't have any pace, and I really struggled with the balance of the car. So I made a few mistakes every now and then and just bled time. And then by the time we got to the pits, I gained quite a huge margin, but it still wasn't enough to get into draft. So it's a good win.
Just talk us about that incident with Gabriel, because from our end, it looked like he sort of bounced off the curb into your path. Is that kind of what happened from your view?
Well, actually, because of single screen things, I couldn't really see anything until after the contact. But looking at it just now, I think probably in other scenario, I could have maybe sent it harder and it would have actually been all right, or just completely backed out. So I would take the blame for it, to be honest, but I think we both said it was just a racing incident.
P2 at the end of the day, it's been a very, very consistent season for yourself. Sebring coming up, championship pretty much wrapped up as well, to be fair. I do believe we are waiting for that final confirmation. But you're in a good position, aren't you, for that now as well? With the 2 drop rounds, I think the non-score and a second place at the minute as you drop round, it's been pretty good from yourself this season, hasn't it? Pretty consistent.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised coming into the championship. I wasn't really looking to win it. I was just thinking maybe a semi-decent result. but I'd say I've really grown since round 1, especially in this car, kind of figuring out the tricks of how to drive it. So I'm fairly confident coming to the end.
Lewis, congratulations on the P2 today. We'll hopefully see you out there at Sebring.
Thank you.
Lewis Woods there for P2. And a great day for him in terms of the points. We can speak with Gabriel now. Gabriel, P3 for you, but it was that slide early on that kind of dropped you down the order, and you was fighting from there since.
Hello.
Hello. I believe we can hear Gabriel. Right, Gabriel, hopefully you can hear us now. P3 in this race, but it was that moment early on in the race with Lewis that kind of meant you was fighting on the back foot ever since that moment.
Yeah, it's just one of those like one things at the bus stop. You know, it happens almost every time. So, I think he tried to back out at the end, but like he had too much overlap, and I thought he backed out, so I sort of turned in and we had contact. But I'm very glad I didn't hit the ball. I used all of my skill and luck to avoid that one.
Obviously, it's not the race for you, really, was it? Because every time you seemed to try and fight back through the field, you had great pace. You had another moment behind Jonathan Riley earlier on as well, and then there was the 2 AM drivers of Lopez and Verhoeven there in your way. It was just a race of coming back, wasn't it, and trying to get onto that podium.
Yeah, it was just damage limitation, you know, like, I think third is the best I could do, you know, Lucas and Lewis, you know, they're top drivers, so there's no way I'm catching up 10 seconds after that, so, you know, I'm really happy with third, you know, part of this championship is that you just have to pick up the pieces when things go wrong, and that's exactly what I did today.
Fastest lap as well. It was a really good race for you in terms of pace-wise, but we moved to Sebring in a fortnight's time. Finale of the season. What can you do around there? Do you like Sebring? And what can you expect to bring home?
Yeah, I love Sebring. To be honest, this schedule you guys have made is absolutely amazing. You know, some of the best tracks in the world, and Sebring is, you know, no exception. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think Lewis has got the championship in the bag, so I'm just looking to collect home some points and have a bit of fun racing. So yeah, really looking forward to the next one.
Gabriel, congratulations today. P3 on the road. Well done in that one.
Thank you very much.
That is your pro podium. And we can speak now with Verhoeven, your race winner in the AM category. And after Suzuka, where you kind of knew it wasn't going to go well, that's the way to answer and come back, isn't it, with a race win?
Yeah, I'm very happy to come back to the victory after a long stint of rough races, you know. So yeah, I'm very...
It was a good fight with a lot of pro drivers there as well. For one moment, I think with Jonathan Riley early in the race, it looked like you was door to door, having a few moments there at the inner loop section. Did you think it could possibly end badly for you?
Yeah, it was risky, but I wanted to keep as many pro drivers as possible between me and Francisco to keep some safety, you know, but I think I had some little damage from lap 1 when a pro driver hit me in the rear, I think, but it wasn't that bad.
Now, when at the end of the race you managed to sort of have no cars between you and Francisco, you had to pace over him, kept the gap at about 2.5 seconds, and really did what you needed to do.
Yeah, no, the second stint was very nice. I just had to push all the time, every lap, not make any mistakes, like Suzuka, but this time I didn't make any mistakes, so yeah, it was good.
Well, congratulations on the race win. Hopefully see you at Sebring and fighting for that championship in the AM category in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was Verhoeven and there. Then P1 in the AM class, and we can speak with Francisco Lopez now. Francisco, pretty good day for you, second place. Really all that you could get from this one, because Eno just had enough.
Yeah, not really a good day. I'm quite disappointed. I did my best today. No mistakes, no big ones at least. And even with that, I couldn't catch Eno. I don't know if it was the car. I don't know if it was the setup. I don't know if it was me. I felt very comfortable on the practice, and today the track was a bit different. Car was super understeering. I guess it was the same for everyone, but I didn't adapt quickly enough. So P2. Now I have to rely on doing a mistake on the last race in order to win the championship. So I would like to rely on the mistakes of others. So bitter.
Yeah, it is bittersweet. It's obviously going to depend on what happens at Sebring in 2 weeks' time. All you can do is go out there and try and win that race.
Yeah, that's the best I can do. I don't want to hope for Reino to have a crash. So maybe if he has a bad day himself, he doesn't like drag, he doesn't adapt to the car, okay, fine. But otherwise, well, that's it.
Fun day, though, for yourself, really, wasn't it? You had a lot of fights with a lot of the pro drivers, really showing, even though you are in that AM category, that you are fighting at the front and fighting for decent positions. Yeah,
I'm trying to improve a bit every day, because at the beginning of the season it was enough just to be able to fight the amateur guys and ignore the pros. But I'm figuring that next season I'm going to be in the pro division, if there is a next season, of course. So I have to be ready to fight those guys. And I guess I'm learning. I guess I'm getting better at it. Not quite on the top yet, but I think we will get there.
Well, Francisco, congratulations on the P2 today. We wish you the best of luck in 2 weeks' time, and we'll see you at Sebring.
Thanks a lot. See you.
And we can speak, I believe, with now Miguel Beltran, who, at the very end there, Miguel, looked like you'd nearly lost it on the podium, but you hung on in there for P3. What a fight.
Yeah, it was very intense. I lost the rear on the tour because I was trying to keep the position with Alonso because this is in another category and I don't want to take a risk, but he made mistakes that made me very nervous, and I was lost to lose the podium. But when I lost the rear and Aleski was in parallel, I tried to defend the position at the end, and I made it.
Yeah, it was brilliant to watch. We didn't see the moment you lost the rear as we was watching the lead across the line, but thank you for informing us what happened. It was so nail-biting, though, at that end, because the outside of turn 11, you're just thinking maybe you're going to drift into that pit wall, on the outside wall. You managed to keep it there. Brilliant racing from the pair of you and bring it home. I was told that Alonso ran out of fuel at the very end. So I don't know if you was aware of that or if that played a factor into that battle.
Yeah, I don't know, but I decided to don't take a race to fight with Alonso and maybe lost more positions. But yeah, he was, I don't know, with better world space, but it was a difficult decision to stay behind.
Pit stop was where you got the podium. Obviously, he was behind Partonen when you came into the pits. You jumped him in the pit lane. You had a really good stop.
Yeah, I decided to say if you keeping my pace behind Alensky and use the draft to save fuel. And in the pit stop, I only decided to change 3 tires. Maybe in the first lap was very difficult to maintain the car on the track, but once time I get the tires in good temperature, it was very easy to keep a good pace.
Indeed. Miguel, great points today, great podium, well earned, and we'll hopefully see you at Sebring.
Thank you.
And that then was the podium of the AM category, then the top 3 from AM and the top 3 from Pro. But that is all we have time for. The notes are done. We can rest up for a week. We're back on Saturday for the Challenge 2 of the Assetto Corsa Championship. Make sure you join us live for that one then as we head to Monza. It got announced a few days ago. We're back though in 2 weeks' time for the finale at Sebring. From all of us here at Racing Unleashed. See you later. Goodbye.